scan, just bury it. Is one answer I got off the record.
Scan is really important if you work with the channels like Meta, TikTok, or Google iOS, on iOS, right?
Generative AI and alternative app stores.
100%.
Overrated?
100%.
Oh.
Especially on the alternative app stores.
Okay.
Generative AI, not 100%, but I think it's overrated. There is one format that we could be excited about, which is the audio ads.
What is the next big shift in consumer behavior that mobile marketers need to prepare for right now?
Subscription.
This is the opportunity to understand what everyone is thinking. What are the hot trends? What are the hot topics? And who are the hottest marketers? Did I say that, Misha? No. But in a way, you are, over the 8-ish years I've known you, you have just gone from, may I say it, strength to strength.
Yes.
So head of growth at Playvalve. I knew you were just head of UA.
That is correct.
That is true.
But now we are doing more than just UA.
Yes,
the growth
exactly.
people are responsible for other areas of the, in our case, mobile game marketing. We are responsible for the organic growth, for the creative production, for soft launches, global launches, entire UA, partnerships. There are many more things
Busy
to do
guy.
now. It
Busy
is.
guy. So Playvalve, casual gaming company. Tell me a little bit about it.
We are based in Barcelona. We are casual gaming studio, developing our own games that are in the casual space. I think of the games like Solitaire, Dominoes, Crossword, etc.
Yeah.
And we are 4 or 5 years old, relatively small studio, 35 people, but we know how to do things great.
Absolutely. And you do like a challenge. I've watched you in your career. You like to go off, do something, break the mold. I mean, head of growth, that means it's the life cycle marketing, it's the acquisition, it's the UA, it's also retention, retargeting, the whole bit, right?
That is correct. We don't do retargeting yet because our games are relatively new.
Yeah.
I think retargeting is great if you think of games that are maybe 5 to 10 years old, or games that just have a lot of users, and games that operate in the space where it's getting more expensive to acquire than retarget existing users. So we don't do retargeting yet, but it is something, of course, for us to consider in the future.
So when I think about what you can look at and change and influence the most, I'm thinking it's got to be creative, right? And you've probably gone through a lot with AI. So what do you do to differentiate between the tactic of just like trying things, churning out more creatives, and then the strategy of actually building on creative? Yeah.
In the past, we had to produce a lot of creatives because the algorithms of the networks were not optimizing towards the final goal of advertisers. So all of our final goal is being profitable, break even in a certain period of time, and make money on top of the break even. So today, all of the biggest ad networks in the world, they have ad ROAS algorithms or ROAS algorithms. So we can just upload creatives, put our ROAS number, and if the network thinks that or knows that they can deliver, then the volume and scale is there. So that's how it's happening today. But in the past, this wasn't happening. So in the past means that we had to manually optimize on the publisher level, on the creative level. We had to produce a lot of creatives to find that winner. Today, that is still the truth. However, today the network doesn't have to go through creative testing process, doesn't have to. It can still go through specific campaigns, but the network, once you upload creatives on the system, will almost like know after a few impressions, a few hundred impressions, if that creative has a chance to perform. So answering your question, today, you can still produce a lot of creatives, but you can as well produce less creatives because the system doesn't necessarily need to have a massive volume of creatives. You can still operate with a less one. So we still, and everyone else still A/B test, should we produce 100 creative a month per game, or should we produce 5 creatives a month, on top of the fact that today there are AI tools to produce creatives, and generally creative production became much cheaper than it used to be in the past.
They tell us, well, you'll have more time, you'll be liberated, and you'll be more creative, and more exciting things will happen. Or is it more like letting AI lead, and you have to learn to let AI lead?
We adapt and we do other things that we used to do. So today, maybe we don't optimize on the publisher level, or we don't produce thousands of creatives, but we have other things to do. We can produce more games. We can scale them faster because we don't need to wait maybe weeks until campaigns will be able to deliver more volumes.
What about the challenges? Are they still the same? Is it about the formats? Is it about the measurement? Just wondering what the challenges are and how that has shifted. Because you've seen them come and go.
Yeah.
What's the new challenge?
There are two kind of gaming, I would say, companies. One is that develop games that monetize on in-app purchases. So those are very high quality games. Think of the games that maybe Supercell is doing, or Rovio is doing, or maybe Dream Games. And then there are games that operate on advertisement economy. So I'm working for the company today that operates on the advertisement economy. So in our case, to make successful game, we need to make sure three things are working, or three things are working together. One is the game itself. So the game should be attractive and engaging, etc. So all the product. Two is ad monetization of that game. So here there are many tricks. So how you monetize the users with ads. And then three is the user acquisition and the growth area. So the challenges today are different in all of these three areas. So we need to make sure we do game better than others. Maybe it should be nicer, newer, lighter game with more, of course, retention and engagement features. So the game itself, the product. Two, we need to make sure that we monetize our user better. Not necessarily we showing them more ads, but maybe we show different formats. We sell our ads to somebody who can pay higher price. And then there is, of course, user acquisition, where we work on how to acquire user on the high volume and on relatively affordable costs.
Publisher empowerment, publishers taking back control of everything from ad quality to alternative app stores and web shops and D2C and everything. I mean, it feels like a movement. Is it a movement?
So I would say it is a movement. That is correct. I think if you talk to the big publishers, they have more power to do things that you mentioned before, right? If you think about the smaller companies like us, we are a very lean startup with 35 people. We focus on building great games and monetizing them. We are not focusing on fighting the system. That is something we could focus if we would be 300 people or 500 people, or if we would be already operating for 10 years, and this would be our growth strategy. We are having growth strategy as developing more games, building the stack of our products so that we could be bigger and have a bigger scale. And maybe one day we will be at the level of those big publishers that could fight the system and bring back the control.
And start a movement. Yes, I can see it. What do you find is the biggest frustration for you that, that there's something you would like to say, maybe to the system, to a vendor? You don't have to name them, but, if there's something you could change or a feature you're missing, something that is frustrating you, I'd like to hear what that is.
What I would love to see implemented, and it's really hard to do on the technical level, is a way to control how many advertisement the user sees before they download the game. So let's say you play Angry Birds and you see one ad of our game from Uplovin, and then you keep playing Angry Birds, you see another ad of also our game from Meta, then you keep playing, you see another ad of our game from Unity. So three of these networks don't know that you are the same person. They just bid on you because they think you would love to play a game. So if there would be a way for me to share in the real time the list of users that have seen already the ad today or in general, to say, once you've seen the ad from Uplovin, I would take your user ID and share it to everyone else. So then Unity would know, hey, this person already have seen the ad. And if they didn't download it, then maybe it doesn't make sense for me to show that ad again. So it could be better user experience. It would be also better ROI for the vendors, for the networks, but also for us, because
for you as well.
They wouldn't waste impressions for somebody that has already clicked the exit button and didn't engage with these ads prior.
Because they could know. I mean, they could share it amongst themselves.
So many users in the world see ads on a daily basis, a few times a day. You would have to take that, pass back in real time to every other network, and they would have to take the information in the bidding mechanism. Before bidding you, they would have to also think, oh, actually, let me see if that person already saw that. Yes or no. It is just very expensive on the server side, and it would be the cost of running that. I was speaking to some of the potential solution providers some time ago. It was just very, very expensive. So the ROI that you saved on the user that you just don't bombard with ads would not justify this so big server cost that you would have to pay to operate. That was some time ago.
Unless they have their own tech.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
unless they have their own tech stack.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we're here at Mal, and it's a sea of buzzwords, right? What are some of them that you're hearing where you're just like laughing to yourself, Misha? Because you've been there, done that. You're seasoned. So what are you hearing in pitches, buzzwords, what have you, where it's like, oh, I don't believe I just heard that.
So I am quite skeptical when I hear a pitch that tells me that, I will get very well performing creative delivered very fast, very cheap, and that creative would perform and would be helping me scale to the infinity. So I'm not really laughing internally. I'm just skeptical and want to see that work. It hasn't been yet proven, but I don't think it's so bad that I'm like laughing internally. It's more that, all right, let me have a look maybe in some time from now if it's really something that you can do or we can do.
Channels you're excited about, Misha. What are you looking out there?
That is a good question. I think I'm excited about Meta.
Because they are back. I mean, they're real.
Yes. So they were big before COVID in terms of when it's not necessarily that COVID, did something very different. It's more that during COVID, Scan came and Meta was really strong on iOS. It's not strong anymore, not the way it used to be. But now, as you mentioned, they're coming back. They are growing and they are slowly developing algorithms that allow you to buy maybe more profitable than it used to be. I'm not saying that it is going to be as it used to be 5 years ago, but I'm quite positively surprised.
What about Scan? We've been up and down. You've been through it all, as many marketers have. Frustrations, learning, something to share. I mean, I've talked to some people who say it's just bury it. Is one answer I got off the record from someone. It's like, okay, I get it. It's a frustration, but where are we now?
I would agree with that person that you spoke to.
Yeah, bury it.
Yes. I don't have such a deep, let's say, emotions towards that topic for the reason that Scan is really important if you work with the channels like Meta, TikTok, Google iOS, on iOS, right? On the big scale, or you used to work. If you don't work with those partners on the big scale or at all, for some reason, maybe the audience is not there, or maybe you don't think your game can make it work on that specific channel, then Scan 4.0 doesn't really impact your business at the level. So I know of the companies who for some reason really need to use Scan. For example, big companies that are public and the legal team define what they can do and cannot do, and they can only use Scan attribution. And unfortunately for them, this is a big topic. And I know many other companies that can do other sort of matching, and Scan is not a big issue.
I have 5 questions, and then you're out of here for good.
All right.
So, as I said before, I worked with Verve on the publisher survey. What do people care about? What do publishers really care about? So, what they said was overrated. Number 1, generative AI. So it's more of a buzzword than the real deal. And alternative app stores. So what are your thoughts? Do you agree with that?
100%.
Overrated?
100%.
Oh.
Especially on the alternative app stores.
Okay.
Generative AI, not 100%, but I think it's overrated.
I got to ask you why.
We don't yet see the impact of AI in our, let's say, complete picture of where we operate. For example, we still need to have developers to develop game, product people to build the game. We need to have ad monetization people to build the economy, etc. So we have specific areas here and there where AI helps us, or maybe takes part of our job. But there is no yet a solution that will take entire gaming company and just be creating its own games.
We heard that before. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
So we asked publishers, again, biggest challenge, unsurprising, cost of UA. So that is the challenge. Is it a blocker? Or maybe it's just that catalyst for change that says, okay, if this is the way it is, then you just need to up your game.
So you can look at this challenge in 2 different ways. One, it's a challenge because the cost is increasing. But second, it's a challenge because your revenue is not increasing.
Yes.
So is your challenge that your cost is increasing, or is a challenge that you can't increase your revenue? So we can't control the cost of UA. We can try to mitigate it with different tools, and I'm sure those people or everyone is doing it with different creatives and publishers and networks, etc. But what we could as well be doing is trying to increase our revenue. by maybe collaborating with specific tools that helps us do that, by optimizing more often, by maybe changing our games to make it more in a purchase subscription. So I would not look so much into this as a challenge that cost is increasing, but rather as an opportunity to increase our revenue.
The emerging formats we're most excited about, shoppable ads, immersive ads. So are we on the mark here? Or is there a format under the radar, straightforward, that we're just not thinking about?
I think those formats are not exciting for gaming companies at the level that they are exciting probably for some other industries. But if I'm playing the game and I'm in this zone of playing and I see the shopping ad, I don't remember me clicking on it because this shoes is 10% off. I'm like, I still want to play my game. But if I would be on Facebook newsfeed when I'm, for example, in discovery mode or Instagram, then I would see the ad minus 10% and I could click it because I'm in browsing discovery mode. I'm not in this zone of playing game. So that's why I'm not as excited about this formats in the gaming ecosystem. And the second part of the question was about the other formats that we could be excited about.
Okay.
There is one format that we could be excited about, which is the audio ads.
Yes.
And it's very, very small. It's very, very niche. It could work for some games on some publishers, and some of them could be excited about that specific format. It could be additional uplift, assuming that you are okay with engaging into this additional format. It also impacts your game economy and the weight of the game. But if you, for example, really big publisher where you can afford have additional format and make sure that your game works well, it could be some uplift to your revenue. But I've seen some of the big gaming companies engaging into that.
I have heard about that, and now you can buy on a CPI basis. So it is real, it is there. First thing comes in your head, right? What is the next big shift in consumer behavior that mobile marketers need to prepare for right now?
Subscription.
Oh.
Consumers are more okay with subscriptions than they used to be. I don't know if they're willing to subscribe, but they see subscriptions in many different products, whether it's like streaming, there are some social apps that are subscription based, offer a subscription, gaming, language learning apps, banking. You can subscribe now with your mobile banking app. So subscription is something that we are okay with already. So if you play games, there are a lot of games that offer a subscription. They could remove your ads for some period of time, for all the time. So it is something that I think mobile the users and gamers are okay with. They see the value, and those who prefer to just hit the button and remove some distractions and allow them to immerse into this experience with your product, there are more and more of that. Of course, the percentage is still low, but
coming.
It's growing.
And finally, buzzwords at MAU 2026. What do you think it's going to be?
2026, next year?
Yeah, next year, the buzzwords.
All right. I want to say it'll be two buzzwords. One is creative AI.
Okay.
And second is a rewarded product.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there will be more rewarded networks.
Oh, yes.
This year we've seen
explosion.
Many. And next year I'm sure there will be more, because I've heard companies saying they want to, or they are going, or they are building already network, rewarded network or rewarded product.
We will see. We'll see next year. So as a person, Misha, we talked about all the growth and all the aspects of your career and what you do at Playvalve. How about as a person? Sometimes we draw from different things and they make us better at what we do.
I'm really drawn to differences that we have in people, depending where they're from and depending where they live. So I live in Spain today, in Barcelona. Before that, I lived in other locations. Yes. And it kind of helped me, being in different places and working for different companies, understand the differences between people. I was born and raised in Ukraine. I grew up in Poland, studying there, and I live in some other places. So it helped me understand people in Europe. I also had the chance to live in the US and in Asia, and from understanding how those people behave, what is valuable for people from different cultures, but also how they treat things, how business works, for example, here in the US versus business in Europe. So when we develop, for example, games, and we need to advertise them in specific countries, it helps me to maybe make the creatives better for specific regions, the messaging better, or just more adapted for specific regions.
Yeah.
And then if you think about developing product for global markets, there are games that are really going to work well here in the US, and the games that will work well in Asia. And knowing that helps me really speed up my career growth, but also what I do in professional life.
I hate to break it off. I'm going to have to, but it's been great to have a chance to experience a little chat with you again, Misha.
Thank you,
Gladly.
Peggy. It was
Thank
great.
You.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.